This is a moment of profound recognition of remembering who you are, and more importantly, what you are no longer willing to accept. Every moment we grant others yet another chance is a moment we step away from our own true center. We imagine that forgiveness without discernment will transform what has been hurtful or empty into something whole. But true power lies not in endless concessions, it lies in the clarity and commitment to what we know we deserve. In every moment, you hold within you the profound ability to shape your life's experience. Every thought, belief, and assumption that you hold about yourself and the world carries the weight of creation. You may have been taught that the circumstances around you dictate the quality of your life, that you must simply respond to what you're given. But in truth, you are the one who gives power and meaning to everything you encounter. The world you experience is the mirror of your inner landscape, a reflection of your own beliefs, your feelings, and your choices. Your life, as it appears, is not a fixed set of circumstances. It is fluid, malleable, ready to change when you choose to change from within. Each thought you hold, whether small or large, contributes to the unfolding picture of your reality. This is why it's essential to understand that you are not at the mercy of external factors, nor are you a victim of fate. Instead, you are a powerful creator, constantly shaping your world with the brush of your attention, intention, and belief. You may wonder how something as simple as belief can influence what seems to be an external, solid reality. But look around, and you'll notice that every invention, every achievement, and every triumph began in someone's mind as an idea, a conviction, a deep inner knowing that something different, something greater could exist. This is the power you possess to look at what is and decide to see beyond it, to believe in something even when there is no physical evidence of it yet. Through this, you give form to the unseen and transform the unseen into your lived experience. Consider for a moment the effect of doubt and fear. When you give life to thoughts of limitation, believing that certain goals or desires are impossible or out of reach, you build a mental wall that obstructs the fulfillment of those very desires. And the more you focus on what you think you lack, the more your outer reality reflects that lack. You may notice situations where opportunities slip by, where relationships feel strained, or where success seems elusive. Yet, as soon as you shift your attention and claim what you truly desire as though it were already yours, everything begins to shift. This power is not magic, it is simply the nature of consciousness. You cannot underestimate the importance of what you choose to accept as true. If you believe yourself to be limited, to be undeserving, or to be at the mercy of others' opinions, your experience will mirror these beliefs. But when you recognize yourself as the creator, you become free to redefine what is possible. The limitations you once felt dissolve, not because something in the world changes, but because you have changed your perspective on the world. You have released the beliefs that no longer serve you. This responsibility is not always easy. There will be moments when you feel uncertain, when old patterns of thought try to pull you back into habitual fears and doubts. But remember, in each of those moments, you have a choice. Will you continue to empower thoughts of fear and separation? Or will you claim your birthright as a creator, choosing thoughts that align with love, abundance, and possibility? This is the path of mastery, and it is not one of struggle or straying, but one of ease and surrender. When you realize your role as the creator, you stop struggling to force outcomes. Instead, you cultivate the beliefs that will naturally bring those outcomes into being. This understanding that you are the creator is liberating. You are no longer bound by the limitations of your past or by the expectations of others. You are free to envision a reality that serves your highest aspirations, to imagine a life where joy, peace, and abundance are not fleeting moments but a natural state of being. Every day, every moment offers you an opportunity to align more fully with this truth. With practice, this becomes the foundation of your existence, a place of unwavering inner strength and assurance. So embrace this power. It is the key to transforming your life in ways that you may have thought were beyond reach. When you fully claim the role of creator, the world around you becomes a reflection of your deepest desires and most authentic self. You are no longer a passive observer but an active participant, shaping a life that resonates with your true essence, a life that is entirely, beautifully yours. The idea of obligation is one of the most deeply ingrained illusions we carry, shaping how we interact with others, make decisions, and live our lives. We are taught early on to feel responsible for others' happiness, to meet the expectations placed upon us, and to follow a path that is not necessarily our own. While duty and responsibility can be noble concepts, the illusion of obligation often serves to keep us from following our true desires and living in alignment with our authentic selves. When we release this illusion, we free ourselves to make choices that genuinely honor who we are, rather than who we believe we're supposed to be. Imagine that every time you feel obligated to act, there is a subtle sense of resentment or resistance within. Perhaps you feel obligated to say yes to a request that you truly want to decline, or maybe you feel compelled to stay in a situation that no longer serves you. These obligations often arise from a fear of disappointing others, a desire to avoid conflict, or an ingrained belief that it's your role to make others happy. But when you look closely, you'll see that each act rooted in obligation, rather than desire, comes at a personal cost, drawing energy away from your true passions, limiting your freedom, and diminishing your joy. It's also helpful to remember that those who truly respect and care for you will honor your choices, even when they don't align with their preferences. Saying no when you mean it allows others to understand you authentically, building trust rather than feeding a false sense of duty. This does not mean cutting off compassion or support for those you care about. Instead, it means choosing to give freely and authentically, rather than out of obligation or guilt. When you do so, the energy you bring to these interactions is vibrant, unforced, and genuinely uplifting for all involved. By shedding obligation, you also create space for spontaneity, joy, and meaningful connections. When you are no longer burdened by the weight of fulfilling others' expectations, you are free to explore your own interests, develop your own gifts, and engage in relationships that support mutual growth. People around you will see this freedom, and they may even feel inspired to question their own obligations, breaking free from the expectations that limit them. In this way, the act of releasing obligation not only liberates you, but also serves as a powerful example for others, showing that it is possible to live authentically without sacrificing relationships or harmony. When you stop acting from obligation, you strengthen your own self-respect. You begin to listen to your own needs and desires and realize that honoring them is an essential part of living a fulfilled life. This self-respect becomes a foundation, allowing you to interact with others from a place of fullness rather than lack. Relationships born from genuine desire rather than duty are stronger, richer, and more meaningful. You attract those who genuinely align with your values, leading to connections based on mutual respect and shared purpose. Standing in the authority of your decision is an act of self-empowerment that few truly understand, yet it is central to creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and authenticity. Every choice you make is a reflection of your values, beliefs, and desires, and when you fully own those choices, you align yourself with an inner power that transforms your experience. This authority is not about forcing your will upon others or ignoring different perspectives. Rather, it is about understanding that your life is your responsibility and that every decision is a statement of who you are and what you're willing to create in the world. Authority in decision-making begins with clarity. When you know what you want, truly know, with conviction, doubt and hesitation start to lose their grip. The world is full of distractions, opinions, and pressures that can pull you in countless directions. Friends, family, and society often have their own views on what you should do or what's best for you. But as you grow more connected to your inner guidance, you realize that no one else can make those choices for you. No one else is living your life or facing the unique circumstances and goals that shape your path. By clarifying your own intentions and values, you lay a foundation for decisions that are rooted in authenticity rather than in fear of judgment or desire for approval. When you make a decision, especially one that feels significant or transformative, you may feel the pull of old habits or the whispers of doubt trying to persuade you otherwise. This is natural, yet it is also a powerful opportunity to practice standing in the authority of your choice. It's easy to second-guess ourselves when faced with resistance or the unknown. Yet every moment of hesitation is a chance to strengthen your resolve. When you continually waver, you send mixed signals to both yourself and the world around you, creating uncertainty rather than momentum. But when you hold steady, trusting that your choice is aligned with your deeper self, you build inner confidence and cultivate a presence that others can feel and respect. Part of standing in the authority of your decision is about embracing the consequences of that decision, whether they unfold as planned or not. When you take full responsibility for your choices, you step into true freedom. This doesn't mean that every decision will yield perfect results, but it does mean that you honor the path you've chosen, learning from any challenges or outcomes along the way. By taking responsibility, you develop resilience, discovering that your worth and ability to create are not diminished by setbacks. Instead, every experience becomes a lesson, a stepping stone that refines your understanding and empowers future choices. To stand in the authority of your decision also means setting clear boundaries and honoring them. When you make a choice, especially one that might challenge others' expectations, some may resist or question your path. In these moments, it's essential to remain unwavering, communicating your decision calmly but firmly. This doesn't require aggression, rather, it calls for a peaceful strength, an assurance that you know what's best for your own life. People may or may not understand, but when they sense the calm certainty in your stance, they are more likely to respect it, even if they do not agree. The authority of your decision impacts not only how others perceive you but also how you perceive yourself. Each time you stand firm, you reinforce your self-trust, strengthening the bond between your intentions and your actions. When you honor your choices, your self-respect grows, and over time this self-respect becomes a wellspring of inner peace and confidence. You no longer feel the need to seek validation or reassurance from others, because you know that you are acting from a place of integrity. This self-assurance opens doors to greater possibilities, for when you trust yourself, you naturally attract situations and people that align with your authenticity. Decisions are powerful because they set energy in motion. When you fully stand by a choice, you harness a focused force that moves you forward, attracting the resources, connections, and circumstances that support your journey. Conversely, wavering or doubting your choices diffuses this energy, creating obstacles and delays. But when you stand firm, you give life to your vision, making it more real with every action you take in alignment with it. You signal to the world and to yourself that you are committed, willing to do what it takes to bring your intentions into reality. In embracing the authority of your decision, you unlock a freedom that many long for but few realize. You discover that your life is not shaped by external influences, but by the strength and clarity of your inner commitments. Every choice becomes an act of creation, an opportunity to bring forth the life you desire. Through this authority, you stand as the author of your own story, empowered, purposeful, and unwavering in the path you've chosen. And in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but inspire others to find the same courage and conviction within themselves. Recognizing your worth is one of the most transformative journeys you can undertake. It goes beyond simply feeling confident or taking pride in your abilities. It's about a deep, unshakable understanding that your value is inherent and that you deserve respect, love, and fulfillment simply because you exist. This recognition of worth changes the way you view yourself, others, and the world around you. It shifts how you allow yourself to be treated, the goals you set, and the quality of life you expect. When you understand your worth, you stop settling for less than you deserve and begin creating a life that reflects your true value. Many people struggle with recognizing their worth because they have been conditioned to believe that their value is tied to external factors such as their achievements, appearance, or the approval of others. Society often reinforces these beliefs, making it easy to slip into the trap of thinking that you must earn your worth. But worth is not something you earn, it's something that is already yours. It is not based on what you do, how you look, or how others perceive you. Your worth is intrinsic, constant, and unchanging, No failure, rejection, or criticism can take it away, because it is not tied to any condition. Realizing your worth involves turning inward and connecting with the core of who you are. This can be a vulnerable process because it requires letting go of the external measures you may have clung to for validation. It asks you to confront the fears, doubts, and insecurities that have kept you from fully embracing yourself. But in doing so, you begin to see that beneath all the layers of expectation and judgment, there exists a powerful, valuable essence that needs no approval. This essence is unique to you and cannot be replicated or diminished by anyone else. Once you recognize your worth, you naturally start setting higher standards for yourself and your relationships. You no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or situations that compromise your well-being. Instead, you attract people and experiences that honor and support your true self. Your relationships become healthier and more fulfilling because they are built on mutual respect rather than neediness or fear. You no longer feel pressured to please others at the expense of your own happiness, and you find the strength to walk away from what doesn't serve you. This newfound clarity allows you to create a life that aligns with your values and passions, a life where you feel genuinely fulfilled. When you know your worth, you also become more resilient. Challenges, setbacks, and criticisms no longer shake your foundation because you understand that they do not define you. You view difficulties as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your self-esteem. With this mindset, you can approach life's challenges with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that your worth remains intact no matter the outcome. This resilience gives you the courage to pursue your dreams boldly, take risks, and step out of your comfort zone. You realize that you are worthy of success and happiness, and you stop allowing fear to hold you back. Another benefit of recognizing your worth is that it allows you to appreciate others without feeling diminished. When you are secure in your own value, you can celebrate others' achievements and qualities without comparing yourself or feeling envious. This sense of inner worth creates a foundation for genuine connection and compassion, enabling you to see the unique value in everyone without losing sight of your own. You become more open, loving, and supportive, because you understand that another's light does not dim your own. Recognizing your worth enables you to live with greater authenticity. You stop pretending to be someone you're not or hiding parts of yourself to fit in or gain approval. You embrace your true self, flaws and all, and present that self to the world with confidence. This authenticity is powerful. It attracts people and opportunities that resonate with your true nature and allows you to live a life that feels meaningful and genuine. When you honor your worth, you give yourself permission to be fully alive, to express yourself freely, and to pursue what makes you happy. This journey of recognizing your worth is not always easy. There will be times when you doubt yourself, when old insecurities resurface, or when others challenge your sense of value. But with each step forward, you strengthen your belief in yourself, and over time this belief becomes unbreakable. You realize that you are enough just as you are, that you have always been enough, and that your worth was never in question. Embracing this truth is a gift you give to yourself, one that transforms every aspect of your life, and allows you to shine with a unique brilliance that is uniquely yours. Creating space for new possibilities is a powerful act of self-renewal, allowing you to invite fresh experiences, relationships, and ideas into your life. It involves letting go of the things, thoughts, and habits that no longer serve you, making room for growth and transformation. Just as a gardener clears away dead leaves and weeds to nurture new plants, creating space in your life allows your dreams, goals, and desires to flourish. When you actively make space, you open up to opportunities that might otherwise remain hidden behind clutter, both physical and mental. Often we hold on to things out of comfort or habit, even when they no longer align with who we are or where we want to go. This can range from physical belongings to outdated beliefs, unfulfilling relationships, and routines that drain rather than energize us. When these things fill up our lives, they consume energy and attention that could be directed toward new, fulfilling pursuits. By clearing them away, we create a blank slate, an inviting openness that welcomes the unknown, where new possibilities can grow and evolve. one of the first steps in creating space for new possibilities is examining your physical environment. Your surroundings reflect and influence your inner state. Clutter, disorganization, or excess can create mental fog and make it difficult to focus on what truly matters. By decluttering your physical space, removing items you don't need, reorganizing, and creating an atmosphere of simplicity and calm, you send a message to yourself that you are ready to receive something new. A clear, harmonious environment can inspire and support you in exploring new ideas and pursuing new experiences. Creating space is not limited to the physical, it's also about letting go of limiting beliefs and emotional baggage that weigh you down. Over time, we may develop beliefs about ourselves and our capabilities based on past experiences or societal expectations. These beliefs can be powerful barriers to growth, keeping us in a cycle of familiarity instead of expanding into new realms of possibility. Perhaps you've always told yourself that you're not creative or capable of a particular goal. By questioning and releasing these limiting beliefs, you begin to see yourself in a new light, free from the constraints of old narratives. You replace these beliefs with affirmations of possibility, allowing yourself to grow in ways you may not have previously imagined. Our relationships also play a crucial role in creating space. Some relationships can be supportive and nourishing, while others may drain your energy or hold you back. Creating space for new possibilities may involve setting boundaries, distancing yourself from relationships that don't support your growth, or seeking out connections that uplift and inspire you. This doesn't mean you have to sever ties with everyone who doesn't align with your path, but it does mean recognizing which relationships enhance your life and which ones may be limiting your potential. Another way to create space is by adjusting your daily routines and habits. Our days are often filled with tasks and activities that leave little room for reflection, creativity, or exploration. By simplifying your schedule and intentionally setting aside time for rest, creativity, or new experiences, you create mental and emotional space for possibilities to emerge. It could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in a hobby that excites you. These small changes allow you to break free from routine and connect with your deeper desires and aspirations. Creating space for new possibilities also involves trusting the process and embracing uncertainty. Letting go of what's familiar can feel unsettling, but this openness is where the magic of new experiences begins. When you release control and let life unfold, you allow space for the unexpected. You create room for the serendipitous encounters, ideas, and opportunities that can lead to profound growth and change. In this openness, you can begin to see paths you hadn't considered and possibilities that were once hidden. This space is not merely emptiness, it is fertile ground for whatever you wish to invite into your life. By making room in your mind, heart, and environment, you signal your readiness for transformation and growth. This openness becomes an invitation to the universe to bring you new experiences and opportunities aligned with your true desires. As you create this space, you become more attuned to subtle signs and insights that guide you toward your next steps. Your perspective broadens and you become willing to explore paths that might have seemed impossible before. Creating space for new possibilities is an act of self-love and empowerment. It reflects a deep trust in yourself and in the process of life, recognizing that you are worthy of growth, new experiences, and fresh beginnings. By clearing away what no longer serves you, you honor your evolving self and create an environment where your dreams and aspirations can take root and flourish. Embrace this space with excitement and curiosity, knowing that each step you take toward openness brings you closer to a life of greater fulfillment, freedom, and possibility. In conclusion, recognizing your worth, standing in the authority of your decisions, and creating space for new possibilities are profound steps toward a more fulfilling life. Each of these elements plays a crucial role in empowering you to live authentically and intentionally. As you embark on this journey, remember that your worth is intrinsic and unshakable, and your decisions shape the life you desire. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create a fertile ground for new experiences and opportunities to flourish. Thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you today. Embrace your worth, trust your decisions, and open yourself to the endless possibilities that await you. Your journey is uniquely yours, and the world is eager to see the incredible things you will create. Let us journey within, for within lies the eternal answer to the question every soul seeks: who am I in a world eager to label, to categorize, to confine? It is an act of pure courage to turn inward and ask yourself this question. You may think you know who you are, your name, your past, the roles you play, but that is not the truth of you. Beneath those layers, beyond those definitions, resides the profound essence that is waiting for recognition. Identity is not a product of the world around us, it is a force, a reality that springs from within. Many of us are accustomed to viewing ourselves through the lens of the roles we play, the achievements we collect, or the relationships we form. We measure ourselves against standards handed down by family, culture, or society at large. But these are mere reflections of who we are, and reflections can distort. True identity is an inner reality, one that shapes our world rather than being shaped by it. This understanding is foundational to unlocking the life we desire and living in alignment with our deepest self. Our sense of self is often filtered through the expectations and labels that surround us from the earliest years. We are given names, assigned characteristics, and surrounded by definitions of success, failure, worth, and limitation. And so, unconsciously, we take these on as the truth of who we are. However, the deeper reality of identity doesn't conform to such labels. Instead, it lives within, in the seat of our awareness. This awareness is like an untouched field, unmoved by the world's judgments and impervious to its changing values. To discover this true identity, we must first recognize the profound power of our inner world, a world that operates independently of external forces. The outer world, by nature, is transient and subject to constant change. People change, trends come and go, and what was once celebrated may quickly fall out of favor. So when we base our identity on external markers, we become vulnerable to a never-ending cycle of validation seeking. We may achieve a goal and feel elated, yet the satisfaction fades because it is not rooted in our true self. Conversely, a failure might shake us, making us feel like less than we are, simply because our sense of self was too closely tied to the result. When we anchor our identity within, it becomes independent of external outcomes. We become the creators of our experience rather than passive subjects of external forces. To discover the reality of your identity, begin with the understanding that who you are is defined by what you believe about yourself. Belief is the bedrock of identity. No one can see it, yet it shapes everything. The beliefs you hold, whether conscious or subconscious, inform every action, every choice, and every response to life's circumstances. If you believe yourself to be limited, that belief will shape your experiences to confirm limitation. But if you believe yourself to be infinite, full of potential, then your life begins to reflect that truth. This is why self-discovery must involve a courageous and honest look within, uncovering any beliefs that have confined you and reshaping them to align with the vision of who you aspire to be. Imagination is the workshop of identity. It may seem at first that imagination is merely a tool for entertaining daydreams or wishes, but it is much more than that. The images and feelings we cultivate within ourselves create the essence of our identity. Every time you imagine yourself achieving a goal, experiencing joy, or living in alignment with your purpose, you are aligning with a higher vision of yourself. Over time, these repeated inner visions become part of your self-concept. Your mind accepts them as real and true, and your behavior, attitudes, and even circumstances begin to shift to match this inner image. Therefore, take time to imagine the version of yourself that you wish to embody, for in that vision lies the true nature of your identity. To truly know who you are, you must learn to silence the noise of the outer world. The opinions of others, societal definitions, and past experiences can cloud the purity of your inner vision. Spend time in reflection, in silence, allowing yourself to feel your own thoughts and desires unfiltered by outside influence. It is in this silence that you begin to feel the essence of your true self, the self that is constant, unchanged, and limitless. This inner self knows no boundaries, and is not defined by any title or achievement. It exists simply and purely as awareness, a boundless space where all possibility exists. When you connect with this inner self, you no longer feel the need to conform or seek validation, for you understand that you are complete, whole, and powerful from within. Once you understand that identity is an inner reality, you are free. You are no longer tied to others' expectations or confined by circumstances. You can define yourself in the image of your highest desires, cultivating a vision of who you truly are and embodying that vision. As you do so, the outer world adjusts to match the strength of your inner conviction. It is a process of alignment where your beliefs, actions, and circumstances all begin to reflect the truth of your inner self. You may find that people treat you differently, opportunities appear that once seemed impossible, and life takes on a quality of flow and harmony. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to define yourself from within. This is not merely an act of rebellion against the world's definitions, it is an act of alignment with the deeper reality of who you are. When you live from this place, you live from a state of true power. You become the creator of your life, a life that reflects the magnificence of your own inner vision, crafted from the deep understanding that identity is not something you find outside. It is a reality born from within, a reality that only you have the power to shape. Is the core of who you are, the foundation upon which all experiences and perceptions are built. Often we believe that our identity is made up of the thoughts we think, the emotions we feel, or the roles we play in the world. But these are simply expressions, ever-changing aspects of our existence. At the deepest level, who you are is the awareness that observes it all. This awareness is constant, unchanging, and it is the seat of self, your true essence. By understanding and cultivating this awareness, you step closer to realizing a version of yourself unburdened by the fleeting nature of external circumstances. Awareness is like a vast open space, one that simply observes without judgment. Most of us, however, are caught up in the contents of our awareness thoughts, fears, hopes, desires. We identify so closely with these elements that they seem to define us, shaping our sense of self. Yet thoughts and emotions arise and pass away, each one temporary. The awareness that precedes these thoughts, however, is always there. It is the same awareness you had as a child, as a teenager, and now as an adult. No matter the changes in your life, this core of awareness remains untouched by time or events. This steady presence of awareness can be hard to grasp at first, because we are accustomed to attaching to things outside of ourselves. We say, I am angry, or I am successful, or I am a mother, a friend, a student. And while these statements describe certain aspects of our lives, they are not the entirety of who we are. When we identify with these temporary states, we limit ourselves. Awareness, however, holds all these experiences without becoming them. It observes without attachment, offering a perspective that transcends the highs and lows of life's circumstances. To understand yourself as awareness, it is helpful to start with observation. Begin by noticing your thoughts, rather than being swept up in them. Notice how thoughts appear, linger, and then disappear, much like clouds drifting across the sky. When you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment, you create space within yourself. You realize that thoughts are merely phenomena passing through, and you, the observer, remain untouched. This understanding is profoundly liberating. No longer do you need to cling to or resist thoughts, you simply observe them, recognizing that they do not define you. The same principle applies to emotions. Emotions, too, are temporary states that arise in response to various stimuli. When you feel anger, sadness, joy, or love, it can seem all-consuming in the moment. But if you cultivate the habit of observing these emotions, you realize they, too, are passing experiences. In this observation lies a subtle power. You begin to see that while you experience emotions, they are not the essence of who you are. You are the awareness that feels these emotions, but is not controlled by them. By connecting with this awareness, you gain a sense of inner stability, a sense of self that is no longer at the mercy of emotional fluctuations. Awareness also grants you the ability to respond rather than react. When you are fully aware, you can pause before making decisions, allowing you to choose actions that are in alignment with your deeper values and intentions. This quality of mindful response stems from knowing that, as awareness, you are not bound by the limitations of automatic reactions or habits. You become the creator of your responses, shaping your life consciously rather than being driven by unconscious patterns. Another profound aspect of awareness is that it is the source of connection. At the level of pure awareness, you feel a unity with all of existence. The boundaries that typically separate you from others begin to fade. You recognize that, just as you are awareness observing your experiences, others too are expressions of awareness observing theirs. This shared foundation brings a sense of oneness, compassion, and understanding. When you see others as they truly are, as beings of awareness, you can relate to them beyond judgments or superficial differences. This insight opens the door to authentic connections and a deeper sense of love for yourself and others. Living from awareness also means you find clarity in purpose. When you understand that awareness is the essence of who you are, you realize that life is not merely about accumulating achievements, status, or material gains. These pursuits, while enjoyable, do not define you. True fulfillment comes from living in alignment with your deeper nature, from expressing the qualities of awareness, peace, joy, compassion, and creativity in all that you do. From this place of awareness, you are able to approach life with a sense of purpose that is not based on external outcomes, but rather on the inner joy of simply being and creating. Cultivating awareness as the seat of self leads you to a life of freedom. You are no longer bound by the need to seek validation, approval, or fulfillment outside of yourself, for you recognize that everything you seek is already within you. The joy, love, and peace you desire are qualities of awareness itself. By resting in awareness, you live as the truest version of yourself, liberated from the limitations of fear, doubt, and insecurity. This realization allows you to embrace life fully, knowing that whatever arises, whether joy or sorrow, success or failure, you remain grounded in the unchanging essence of who you are. In living from this place of awareness, you become the conscious creator of your life. You are no longer subject to the shifting tides of external circumstances, for you know that the seat of self is always within, steady and unshaken. Through awareness, you discover a life that is deeply fulfilling, a life where you are truly yourself. This is the essence of freedom, the freedom to be who you truly are. Silencing external influences is essential to discovering the voice of your true self. In a world that is constantly vying for our attention, filled with societal expectations, opinions, media, and trends, it can be easy to lose sight of who we are. We find ourselves swept up in the standards others have set, reacting to the demands of the world, rather than living in alignment with our inner nature. Learning to quiet these external influences allows us to hear our inner guidance and connect with our own thoughts, desires, and values. This silence is not simply about avoiding distractions, it is about reclaiming our power to define ourselves from within. The external world has a way of pressing its standards and values onto us, often from an early age. Family, friends, teachers, and society all offer their views on what is right, what is possible, and who we should be. These messages become embedded in our minds, forming beliefs and expectations that we adopt as our own, often without question. But when we take the time to pause and reflect, we may find that these beliefs are not truly ours. They are conditioned responses, shaped by years of exposure to others' opinions. Silencing these influences is the first step toward freeing ourselves from inherited beliefs and allowing our true thoughts and feelings to emerge. Silencing external influences does not mean isolating ourselves from the world or rejecting others' opinions altogether. Instead, it is about creating a mental boundary that allows us to discern which influences serve our growth and which do not. To silence external noise, we must cultivate a habit of mindful awareness. This begins with becoming aware of the sources of information and influence in our lives. Consider the content you consume daily, the news, social media, conversations, and even the people you surround yourself with. Notice how each of these influences impacts your mood, thoughts, and beliefs. Some may uplift and inspire, while others may drain or sway you away from your true intentions. By bringing awareness to these influences, you begin to reclaim control over what you allow into your mind. One of the most effective ways to quiet external influences is through solitude. In solitude, we give ourselves the space to listen inward, free from the constant input of others. Taking time alone, even a few minutes each day, helps us reconnect with our own thoughts and feelings. Solitude allows us to question the assumptions we've taken on and explore who we are beyond the roles we play. In these moments, we can identify the beliefs that genuinely resonate with us and let go of those that do not. Solitude is not loneliness, it is a powerful tool for self-discovery. By embracing solitude, we strengthen our inner voice and gain clarity about what truly matters to us. Mindfulness meditation is another valuable practice for silencing external influences. Through meditation, we cultivate a state of presence that allows us to observe thoughts and feelings without attachment. When we meditate, we learn to recognize the constant flow of ideas, many of which are shaped by external sources. This awareness helps us separate our true desires and values from those that have been imposed upon us. As we deepen our practice, we become less reactive to external stimuli and more grounded in our sense of self. Meditation provides a mental reset, allowing us to return to a state of clarity and inner calm, unclouded by the noise of the world. Another important step in silencing external influences is setting clear boundaries. When we allow others to dictate our decisions, we give away our power. Setting boundaries involves being selective about who and what we allow into our mental and emotional space. This could mean limiting time spent on social media, reducing exposure to negative influences, or creating distance from individuals who do not respect our values. Boundaries empower us to protect our inner peace and stay true to our own path. When we establish these boundaries, we honor our own needs, affirming that our inner well-being takes priority over conforming to external expectations. Listening to our intuition is also key in silencing external influences. Intuition is that inner knowing, a quiet voice that guides us toward our highest good. Unlike external opinions, which often come with an agenda or bias, intuition is unbiased and aligned with our true nature. To hear our intuition, we must quiet the mind and create a space for it to be heard. By practicing stillness and trusting in this inner wisdom, we learn to rely on ourselves rather than constantly seeking guidance from outside sources. Intuition becomes a compass that guides us in moments of doubt, helping us make choices that honor who we are. Embracing authenticity allows us to silence external influences and live from our own truth. Authenticity is the courage to express ourselves as we are, without editing or modifying to fit the world's standards. When we are authentic, we no longer feel the need to please others or seek their approval. This authenticity strengthens our self-esteem and makes us less susceptible to external pressures. Embracing authenticity is a declaration that we are enough as we are, that our own voice and values matter more than the opinions of others. By being true to ourselves, we cultivate a life that reflects our true identity, rather than a version shaped by external forces. Desire is often regarded as a fleeting urge, a distraction from life's deeper meanings. However, true desire, when examined closely, is much more than a simple want. It is a mirror reflecting our purpose, the call to our soul's highest potential. Desire is an internal guide, drawing us toward experiences, goals, and ways of being that resonate with who we truly are. It reflects our unique purpose in life, connecting us to what is meaningful and fulfilling. By recognizing desire as a reflection of purpose, we come to see that our aspirations are not random but rather essential signals guiding us toward our life's intended path. When we feel a strong desire, it is often accompanied by a sense of longing, excitement, and even restlessness. This intensity stems from the fact that true desires originate from the core of our being. These are not mere whims or passing interests, they are expressions of our deepest values, aspirations, and dreams. When we examine our desires with an open heart, we can trace them back to aspects of ourselves that yearn to be fulfilled or expressed. They reveal parts of us that crave growth, creativity, connection, or achievement, each aligning with our purpose and path. Ignoring or dismissing these desires often leads to a sense of dissatisfaction, as it keeps us from expressing our true nature. Desires, when aligned with purpose, become the driving force behind personal growth. They propel us toward becoming the best version of ourselves, motivating us to cultivate the skills, qualities, and attributes needed to achieve our goals. A desire to create, for example, might encourage someone to develop skills in art, music, or writing. A desire to help others may lead to nurturing qualities such as compassion, patience, and understanding. In this way, desires serve as catalysts, urging us to grow in the areas that fulfill our unique purpose. By pursuing these desires, we are not only moving toward our goals, but also evolving in alignment with who we are meant to become. Many of us are conditioned to think of desire as something selfish or superficial. We are taught to suppress our wishes, labeling them as distractions from practicality or responsibility. However, denying true desires is to deny our purpose. Desire is not inherently selfish. In fact, it often leads to actions and accomplishments that benefit others and contribute to the world. When we follow a genuine desire, we are expressing our unique gifts and potential, often bringing value to those around us. Our purpose, after all, is rarely about isolation. It is about finding ways to contribute, connect, and leave a positive impact, and desires are the inner prompts that guide us toward that contribution. Consider the example of a person who feels a strong desire to teach and inspire others. This desire is likely a reflection of their purpose, a calling to impart knowledge and empower others. When they honor this desire, they engage in activities that align with their purpose, such as becoming a teacher, coach, or mentor. In doing so, they bring value to others, fostering growth and positive change. Had they dismissed this desire as trivial, they might have missed out on fulfilling a path that brings meaning not only to themselves but also to those they serve. Desire, in this sense, is the soul's way of directing us to our unique form of service in the world. Desire is also deeply linked to our emotions, which serve as indicators of alignment or misalignment with our purpose. When we pursue a desire that resonates with us, we often feel a deep sense of joy, peace, and fulfillment. Conversely, when we ignore or resist our desires, we may feel frustration, resentment, or a sense of emptiness. These emotions are signals from within, telling us whether we are honoring our purpose or veering away from it. By paying attention to these emotional responses, we gain insight into the desires that truly align with our purpose versus those that are merely distractions or surface-level wants. It is important, however, to distinguish between fleeting wants and genuine desires. A fleeting want is often rooted in temporary gratification, whereas a true desire is persistent and rooted in meaning. Fleeting wants are often driven by external influences, social pressures, trends, or the need for validation. True desires, on the other hand, stem from an inner calling that does not fade over time. They are steady, arising from our core values and personal vision. Cultivating self-awareness and discernment allows us to separate these surface-level impulses from the deeper desires that reflect our purpose. When we align with these true desires, we feel a profound sense of harmony, knowing that we are moving in the right direction. Honoring desire as a reflection of purpose requires trust. We must trust that our inner longings are not misguided but rather guiding us toward a path that is uniquely ours. It may mean stepping outside of societal expectations, taking risks, or pursuing goals that others do not understand. This trust in desire is an act of self-respect, an acknowledgement that we are the most accurate interpreters of our purpose. By following the desires that resonate deeply within us, we move closer to a life that is fulfilling and true. In understanding desire as the reflection of purpose, we begin to live a life that is aligned with our deepest truths. Desires are not obstacles but invitations, calling us to embody our fullest potential and fulfill our unique mission in the world. Each desire is a step toward self-discovery, helping us uncover the gifts and qualities that make us who we are. By listening to and honoring these inner signals, we not only find personal fulfillment, but also contribute to the world in a way that only we can. This is the beauty of desire. It leads us to our purpose, calling us to live a life of meaning, authenticity, and impact. Living as your ideal is a commitment to embody the highest vision you have for yourself, regardless of present circumstances. It's not just about holding a picture of what you desire, but rather actively stepping into that vision, letting it shape your thoughts, actions, and perceptions. When you choose to live as your ideal, you are deciding to make this vision a reality through your daily choices and habits. This process involves shifting your mindset, reorienting your behaviors, and aligning your entire way of being with the version of yourself you most aspire to be. The first step in living as your ideal is clarity. You must know who this ideal version of yourself is, and it's not enough to define it in general terms. Be specific, identify the qualities, habits, attitudes, and values this ideal self embodies. What does this person believe about life and themselves? How do they handle challenges and setbacks? How do they relate to others? The clearer you are about this ideal self, the easier it becomes to step into that role. This clarity acts as a compass, guiding your actions and choices, showing you exactly what you need to focus on each day to get closer to this vision. Once you have a clear picture of your ideal, the next step is to cultivate the mindset of that person. This is about transforming the way you think, feel, and respond to the world around you. Begin to notice any thoughts or beliefs that contradict your ideal self. For example, if your ideal self is confident and self-assured, but you frequently have self-doubt, it's essential to recognize this discrepancy. Replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Affirmations and visualizations are powerful tools for this process. Visualize yourself acting, speaking, and thinking as your ideal self. This repeated mental rehearsal begins to solidify new beliefs in your subconscious mind, gradually shifting your perspective toward alignment with this vision. Mental alignment alone is not enough. Your actions must also reflect your ideal self. This involves taking consistent, intentional steps that align with the vision you've created. If your ideal self is someone who prioritizes health, for instance, begin by adopting healthy habits such as regular exercise and mindful eating. If your ideal self is someone who is financially responsible, start by making thoughtful decisions about spending and saving. Each action taken in alignment with your ideal self reinforces that identity, making it feel increasingly natural over time. The small choices you make daily are powerful. They add up to transform your reality, gradually molding you into the person you envision. One of the most significant challenges in living as your ideal is overcoming the pull of current circumstances. It's easy to become discouraged when your reality does not yet reflect your vision, but this is precisely where the power of persistence and faith comes in. You must hold steadfast to your vision, even when the physical evidence does not yet support it. The key is to focus on internal alignment rather than external validation. Trust that by embodying your ideal in thought and action, the external world will eventually catch up. Your job is not to force external changes, but to cultivate the internal alignment that naturally attracts these changes. A fundamental part of this process is learning to let go of old habits, patterns, and environments that no longer serve you. When you commit to living as your ideal, you may find that certain friendships, routines, or even mindsets no longer align with your path. It can be difficult to release these attachments, especially if they have been part of your life for a long time. However, letting go creates space for the new and is a necessary step in the journey toward transformation. Remember, you are not defined by your past, you are defined by the choices you make now. Every moment presents an opportunity to realign with your ideal self, regardless of past behavior. A powerful tool in this journey is self-compassion. Living as your ideal does not mean striving for perfection or expecting instantaneous transformation. Growth is a gradual process, and there will be days when you may fall short of your expectations. But during such times, it is essential to practice kindness toward yourself. Remember that each setback is part of the journey and an opportunity to learn and strengthen your commitment. Self-compassion helps you maintain resilience, keeping you motivated and focused on your vision, even in the face of challenges. Living as your ideal requires a commitment to continuous growth and improvement. As you embody your vision, you will discover new areas for development and refinement. The journey of self-realization is never truly finished. It is an ongoing process of becoming. Embrace this process with curiosity and enthusiasm, knowing that each step brings you closer to your ideal. As you grow, your vision of your ideal self may also evolve, revealing deeper layers of potential and purpose within you. Living as your ideal is a powerful and transformative commitment. It is not just a decision, it is a way of life that requires dedication, patience, and faith. By aligning your thoughts, actions, and beliefs with your highest vision, you gradually shape your reality to reflect the person you aspire to be. Through persistence, self-compassion, and a willingness to release the old, you create space for your ideal self to flourish. In doing so, you not only transform your own life but also inspire those around you, showing what is possible when one chooses to live in alignment with their highest self. To live as your ideal self, you embark on a journey of profound transformation and self-discovery. Each thought, action, and belief aligned with your highest vision shapes not only your own reality but also ripples out to inspire those around you. Remember, this journey isn't about perfection, but about progress, about stepping each day closer to the person you know you're meant to be. By embracing growth, releasing what no longer serves you, and nurturing self-compassion along the way, you honor the immense power within to shape your destiny. Thank you for allowing this journey to begin here. May it lead you to the fullest expression of your true self. My friends, there is a truth we often overlook until life brings it forward with sudden intensity. This truth is the inevitability of change, not in abstract terms, but in the realm of people, relationships, and those we thought would always be. People change, sometimes without warning, and often in ways that disrupt the comfort of constancy. Yet rather than resenting or resisting this truth, we are called to embrace it. Life is a river, endlessly flowing, shaping and reshaping the landscape of our experience. In this endless current, people, situations, and even our own desires evolve, often in ways we cannot predict. But the essence of life, its very nature, is change. This is a truth as undeniable as it is often resisted. For many, the idea of change brings discomfort because it threatens the stability they seek. But to live a life of depth and clarity, one must understand that change is not the enemy, it is the natural rhythm of existence. By embracing this constant flow, we open ourselves to the profound beauty and wisdom that life has to offer. Many people hold tightly to the idea of permanence, be it in relationships, career, or health. They tell themselves that things will stay the same, that friends will remain, and that the love they have found will endure without effort. This clinging to the static is natural, it feels secure, providing a sense of predictability in an otherwise unpredictable world. However, this desire for constancy often blinds us to the true nature of life, which is far from stationary. Life ebbs and flows, carrying us to places we may not have chosen yet need to go. Recognizing this helps us align with reality rather than with our illusions of permanence. Resistance to change, in any form, builds tension within us. This resistance is a quiet but relentless drain on our energy and spirit. We may find ourselves locked in situations that no longer serve us, holding on to beliefs that no longer reflect our experience, or staying with people whose paths diverge from ours. All because of an underlying fear that, if things change, something within us will be lost. Yet the paradox here is that in resisting change, we lose far more than we preserve. We lose the vitality that comes with renewal, the joy of new experiences, and the wisdom that emerges from growth. In truth, everything we resist ultimately persists, shaping our lives in unintended ways. To embrace the flow of change is to release the need to control every aspect of our journey. It is to trust that the river of life knows exactly where it is going, and that, by surrendering to it, we move in alignment with a greater wisdom. This surrender is not about passivity, it is about cooperation with the inevitable, an allowing of life's rhythm to guide us instead of our own narrow perceptions. Life has a way of orchestrating circumstances for our highest growth, even if at the time we cannot see it. By releasing control, we open our minds to receive new insights and possibilities. There is a profound liberation that arises from embracing the flow of change. We begin to realize that nothing external truly defines us. The relationships, the material possessions, the labels we cling to, these are all temporary adornments in the ever-changing dance of life. What remains, what is truly real, is the awareness with which we experience this dance. This awareness is the foundation of our being, untouched by the changes that happen around us. When we root ourselves in this awareness, we find peace amid uncertainty, and we come to understand that we can thrive regardless of external circumstances. When we align with the flow of change, we also cultivate a deep appreciation for the present moment. We realize that each interaction, each experience, is uniquely precious precisely because it is fleeting. This awareness allows us to engage more fully with life, knowing that the moment will pass, but the richness of our experience will stay with us. We no longer see change as a threat, but as an opportunity to deepen our connection to ourselves and the world around us. To live in harmony with change is to accept that nothing is guaranteed except this very moment. By understanding this, we free ourselves from the anxiety of holding on too tightly, of resisting the tides of life. In doing so, we find a source of strength that is unwavering, a strength rooted in the acceptance that life, in all its beauty and unpredictability, is unfolding just as it should. Embracing this flow, we discover a peace that is unbreakable, and we learn that true freedom is found not in holding on, but in letting go. In a world filled with shifting relationships, expectations, and external demands, the capacity for self-reliance is one of the most powerful strengths we can cultivate. It is a foundation that allows us to meet life with resilience, poise, and unwavering confidence, no matter the circumstances. Self-reliance does not merely imply physical independence or financial stability, although those aspects are valuable. Rather, true self-reliance is an inner quality, a deep trust in oneself to navigate life's challenges without relying solely on the validation or support of others. It's the understanding that within us we possess all we need to thrive. From a young age, we are often taught to depend on others, parents, teachers, mentors, friends for guidance, approval, and a sense of belonging. While support from others can enrich our lives, this habitual dependence can become a crutch if we allow it to define our sense of self. Many go through life seeking constant affirmation from others, hoping that the external world will provide them with the worth they crave. Yet this pursuit is often unfulfilling and at times damaging. Dependency by its nature creates an imbalance. It places one's stability and happiness in the hands of others, leaving us vulnerable to disappointment when others do not live up to our expectations or when circumstances change. In contrast, self-reliance builds a sense of inner strength that no external change can disturb. To rely on oneself does not mean to isolate oneself or reject the possibility of companionship or community. Rather, it means that one does not depend on these connections to feel complete. When you are self-reliant, you are able to experience relationships and interactions from a place of wholeness rather than need. You understand that your value is intrinsic, that you bring richness to relationships because you are already complete within yourself. This shift changes the dynamic in powerful ways, allowing you to give freely without expecting anything in return. And by the same token, you can walk away without feeling a sense of loss or insecurity. Self-reliance allows us to tap into our natural resilience, the ability to endure and overcome life's inevitable hardships. There will be moments of loss, disappointment, and unexpected change. In these times, those who are self-reliant are not immobilized by the absence of support. They look inward for the strength to persevere. They understand that, while comfort from others is welcome, their true source of strength lies within. This understanding creates a mindset that is adaptable, flexible, and unshakable, a mindset that can face life with courage. At its heart, self-reliance fosters a deep trust in one's intuition and judgment. Many people look to others for validation when making decisions, fearing that they cannot trust their own instincts. Yet, relying on others to validate our choices disconnects us from our authentic selves. Self-reliance means tuning into one's inner voice, trusting that it speaks with wisdom, and embracing the consequences of one's decisions without regret. This doesn't mean that every decision will be perfect, but it does mean that each choice will be one's own, building a sense of confidence and self-empowerment that is invaluable. There is a profound peace that comes from knowing that you can stand alone, that no matter what unfolds, you have within yourself all that you need. This peace allows for a calmness and clarity that those reliant on external sources often lack. Self-reliance encourages us to embrace solitude, not as loneliness, but as an opportunity to deepen our connection with ourselves. When we spend time alone, we learn who we truly are, beyond the expectations and opinions of others. This solitude strengthens the foundation of self-reliance, grounding us in our own experience. Self-reliance also fosters a sense of gratitude. When you trust in yourself, you can appreciate others without attaching yourself to them. Relationships then become acts of shared joy rather than sources of dependency. You can celebrate the presence of others in your life, knowing that you do not need them to be complete, and thus you cherish them more freely and genuinely. To cultivate self-reliance is to recognize that you are enough, that you are capable, and that within you lies a wellspring of strength. This strength allows you to walk through life with confidence, navigate its unpredictable currents with grace, and remain steady even when the world around you is not. By embracing self-reliance, you step into a life of freedom, a life where you are not bound by the need for others' approval, but are guided by your own inner compass, confident and secure in who you are. In the journey of life, one of the most persistent illusions we cling to is the idea of permanence. We want to believe that things will stay the same, that the relationships we value, the stability we seek, and the comforts we enjoy will always be with us. It's a natural inclination, for we are often comforted by what seems familiar, predictable, and lasting. Yet this belief in permanence is a mirage, and it is one that, if we don't come to understand, can lead to profound disappointment and suffering. The reality is that life is fluid, ever-changing, and all that we experience is, by nature, impermanent. Learning to see through this illusion of permanence opens us to a deeper truth, one that allows us to live with greater presence, resilience, and peace. Our attachment to permanence is rooted in fear. We fear loss, change, and the unknown, and so we cling tightly to things as they are, hoping that by doing so, we can somehow hold off the inevitability of change. This desire manifests in many ways, from holding on to relationships long after they have served their purpose to striving for stability in careers or finances, expecting them to stay unchanged. But in clinging to these aspects, we ignore a fundamental truth: nothing in the physical world is unchanging. People grow and evolve, situations shift, and even our own desires and values transform over time. The more we resist this natural flow, the more tension and dissatisfaction we create within ourselves. When we believe in the illusion of permanence, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Imagine a person who believes that a relationship will last forever. They may pour all their hopes, dreams, and sense of identity into this connection, only to find that one day the relationship changes, or the person they depended on is no longer the same. In that moment, the reality of impermanence shatters the comforting illusion, and what follows is often a deep sense of loss and disorientation. This is not because of the relationship's end, but because of the unrealistic expectation of its permanence. By understanding that relationships, careers, and even health are transient, we can approach them with appreciation in the present, without placing the burden of permanence on them. Embracing the truth of impermanence allows us to cultivate a more resilient mindset. Instead of clinging to things as they are, we can adopt an attitude of adaptability. We learn to flow with life's changes, responding with grace rather than resistance. This flexibility does not imply detachment or apathy. Rather, it allows us to fully experience each moment, each connection, and each opportunity, knowing that they are gifts to be cherished while they last, not possessions to be kept. This perspective frees us from fear, for we no longer feel the need to preserve things in a fixed state. Instead, we become participants in life's ongoing process, accepting that change is an essential part of growth. Understanding the illusion of permanence also deepens our sense of gratitude. When we recognize that each moment, each encounter, and each experience is fleeting, we are more likely to cherish them. We savor the presence of loved ones, the beauty of a passing season, or the joy of a shared experience, knowing that they will not last forever. This awareness enriches our lives, transforming even ordinary moments into precious memories. In this way, the acknowledgement of impermanence doesn't lead to despair, but to a more vibrant and intentional way of living. Furthermore, seeing through the illusion of permanence encourages us to turn inward for a sense of stability. While the external world is ever-changing, there is a quiet, unchanging awareness within us that remains untouched by the comings and goings of life. This inner presence is the foundation upon which we can build a life of peace and resilience. When we stop expecting the external world to provide us with a sense of permanence, we can focus on cultivating an internal stability that is not affected by external circumstances. This internal grounding allows us to face change without losing our center, knowing that we are anchored in something deeper than the transient world. Releasing the illusion of permanence frees us to live authentically. We stop wasting energy trying to hold things in place and instead invest in experiencing life as it is. We become open to transformation, growth, and the possibilities that change brings. We understand that life's beauty is found in its impermanence, and rather than fearing this truth, we embrace it with courage and curiosity. To live free of the illusion of permanence is to live with wisdom and awareness. It is to understand that the nature of life itself is impermanent, and that our fulfillment does not come from clinging to what is, but from embracing what unfolds. In this understanding, we find a peace that transcends the ever-changing world, a peace rooted in the acceptance of life's beautiful and inevitable flow. In the midst of a world filled with noise, constant activity, and endless distractions, the ability to cultivate inner silence is a rare and invaluable strength. Mastery of inner silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is the art of quieting the mind, stilling the constant chatter of thoughts, worries, and mental commentary that fill our waking hours. This inner silence, when practiced consistently, becomes a sanctuary, a place where one can return to clarity, wisdom, and profound peace, regardless of what may be happening externally. In this silence, we gain insight, inner strength, and the ability to face life with calm resilience. Learning to quiet the mind is challenging for many, as thoughts seem to arise unbidden, capturing our attention and carrying us away with memories, future anxieties, or immediate concerns. However, mastery of inner silence is about learning to observe these thoughts without attachment, to watch them as one might watch clouds passing in the sky. Thoughts will come, and they will go, but with practice we begin to see them as temporary, impermanent occurrences rather than as defining features of our identity or reality. This detachment from thoughts brings a profound freedom, for it allows us to step back and not be overwhelmed by the demands of our minds. Inner silence also grants us the clarity that comes from being fully present. In the stillness of a quiet mind, we are no longer consumed by regrets of the past or worries about the future. We become grounded in the present moment, where our awareness is heightened and we can experience life directly without the filters of past conditioning or mental projections. This presence brings a calm strength, for in truly being present, we engage with life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Problems appear less daunting, and we become more open to creative solutions and insights that come from a place of calm rather than from reactive thinking. With regular practice, inner silence becomes a wellspring of peace within us. This peace is not contingent on external conditions, but arises from a steady, cultivated connection with our inner self. In silence, we are reminded of our innate wholeness and the quiet strength that exists within us. The more we cultivate this silence, the more resilient we become. We learn to respond rather than react to situations, to approach life's challenges from a place of calm understanding rather than from anxiety or fear. This ability to remain composed and clear-headed in any situation is one of the greatest gifts of mastering inner silence. Inner silence also connects us to something beyond the immediate world of form and activity. In moments of silence, we can tap into the vastness of our consciousness, a place that holds wisdom and insight beyond the reach of ordinary thinking. When the mind is quiet, we often find answers to questions that have been troubling us, solutions to problems that seemed unsolvable, or a sense of guidance that leads us in the right direction. This guidance comes not from logical reasoning, but from a deeper level of understanding, one that can only be accessed in stillness. Mastering inner silence enhances our relationships with others. When we are calm and centered, we can listen to others without judgment, without preparing our response or projecting our own thoughts onto them. This kind of listening fosters deeper connections and greater empathy. In turn, we begin to see the beauty and richness of each moment, and we can appreciate others more fully. Silence allows us to create space for understanding, compassion, and true connection. The journey to mastering inner silence is not always easy. It requires patience, discipline, and a willingness to let go of our attachment to constant mental activity. But the rewards are profound. Through inner silence, we find a sense of freedom that is not affected by external changes, a clarity that remains steady even in the face of life's storms. This silence is a profound source of strength, one that guides us back to ourselves again and again, reminding us of our inner peace and resilience. To master inner silence is to discover an unshakable foundation within a place of tranquility and wisdom that is always present, waiting to be experienced. As we deepen our practice, we come to see that this silence is not an absence, but a fullness, a vast inner space that holds the essence of who we are. In this stillness, we find the courage, clarity, and peace that allow us to live life with a steady heart and an open mind. In the journey of life, challenges, setbacks, and unexpected changes are inevitable. Yet, amidst these trials, there exists an invaluable quality that can carry us through any storm: inner resilience. This resilience is not about resisting or avoiding hardship. It is the ability to withstand, adapt, and grow in response to adversity. It is a strength that comes from within, built on a foundation of self-trust, mental flexibility, and an enduring connection to our inner calm. Cultivating inner resilience allows us to face life's uncertainties with courage and grace, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. Inner resilience begins with self-trust, the confidence in our capacity to handle whatever life brings. When we trust ourselves, we no longer see challenges as threats but as experiences that, though difficult, we have the power to face. Many people lack self-trust, feeling unsure of their ability to cope with hardship. They may lean heavily on others, external circumstances, or avoid difficult situations altogether. However, true resilience requires us to turn inward, to recognize and nurture the strength that resides within. This self-trust is built over time, through each experience, where we choose to face difficulty rather than flee from it. Each time we rise after falling, we reinforce this trust, creating a wellspring of resilience that we can draw upon in future challenges. Mental flexibility is another cornerstone of inner resilience. Life rarely goes according to plan, and rigidity in thinking often leads to frustration and disappointment. Mental flexibility, on the other hand, allows us to adapt to changing circumstances, to remain open to alternative solutions, and to embrace new perspectives when faced with obstacles. This flexibility is not about passively accepting whatever happens, but about maintaining a fluid approach to life's uncertainties. Those who are mentally flexible can shift their mindset as needed, finding new paths forward, even when their initial plans are disrupted. Cultivating this flexibility helps us to flow with life, rather than resist it, enabling us to see opportunity within challenge. Another aspect of inner resilience is the ability to manage our emotions. When faced with adversity, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or discouraged. However, resilience teaches us to observe our emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Rather than suppressing difficult feelings, we learn to acknowledge them, to give ourselves permission to feel and process them without letting them dictate our actions. By staying present with our emotions, rather than reacting impulsively, we can respond to challenges from a place of calm awareness. This emotional awareness becomes a tool for navigating hardship, allowing us to find clarity and perspective, even in moments of intense difficulty. An often overlooked, yet vital component of inner resilience is self-compassion. Many people are quick to criticize themselves for perceived failures or setbacks, adding an unnecessary burden to the challenges they face. But self-compassion teaches us to treat ourselves with kindness, to acknowledge our efforts, and to recognize that struggle is a shared human experience. By being gentle with ourselves, we create an internal environment that supports resilience. We learn to forgive ourselves when we fall short, to acknowledge our own humanity, and to move forward without the weight of self-criticism. This self-compassion softens our journey, allowing us to bounce back with greater ease. Cultivating inner resilience connects us to an unchanging inner calm. Beneath the turbulence of life's events, there is a quiet stillness that remains untouched. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, or simply spending time in solitude, we can connect to this inner calm, discovering that, regardless of what happens externally, there is a part of us that remains steady. This connection to our inner calm becomes a refuge, a place to return to whenever we feel overwhelmed. In this calm, we find the strength to move forward, guided not by fear, but by a deep inner knowing that all things, even the hardest trials, will eventually pass. To cultivate inner resilience is to build a foundation of self-trust, mental flexibility, emotional awareness, purpose, self-compassion, and connection to inner calm. It is the quiet, steady strength that allows us to meet life's challenges without losing ourselves. Through resilience, we come to see that we are more capable, adaptable, and resilient than we often realize. This resilience becomes a guiding force, empowering us to face adversity with an open heart and a courageous spirit, knowing that each challenge carries within it the seeds of growth and transformation. In a world that often equates happiness and fulfillment with external achievements, relationships, or possessions, the idea of being whole within oneself can feel unfamiliar or even radical. Yet true wholeness is an inner state that does not rely on external validation or circumstances. It is the profound understanding that everything you seek already resides within you, that your essence is complete and unchanging regardless of what happens in the outer world. When you come to embrace this, you unlock a depth of peace and self-contentment that no external force can disrupt. At the core of this wholeness is the realization that you are more than the roles you play, the relationships you hold, or the things you accomplish. Often people search for completeness through relationships or achievements, believing that something external can fill an internal void. But each time they reach for fulfillment outside themselves, they may find that the satisfaction is fleeting, always dependent on someone or something that could change or fade away. Wholeness, however, does not come from something you acquire. It comes from recognizing the truth of who you are beyond these temporary conditions. This sense of self is indestructible, an awareness that remains even when everything else fades away. To know yourself as whole requires a shift in perception. It is a journey of inner reflection and an invitation to meet yourself without the filters of society's expectations or the pressures of comparison. It asks you to see yourself as already enough, as someone who possesses within all the love, worth, and strength you may have been seeking externally. This shift is empowering because it frees you from the need to chase after acceptance, approval, or validation. When you see yourself as whole, you step into a life of freedom, no longer driven by a feeling of lack or by the need to prove your worthiness. In embracing the profound understanding that you are whole within yourself, you step into a life free from the need for external validation or approval. This journey of self-realization allows you to approach life from a place of true strength, inner peace, and freedom, transforming how you relate to yourself and others. When you recognize that everything you seek already resides within, you tap into a wellspring of inner contentment, resilience, and unshakable confidence. This completeness allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace and to experience each moment fully, knowing that nothing outside of you can define or diminish your worth. Thank you for allowing these words to remind you of the wholeness that has always been yours. Each morning is your sacred opening, the whispering dawn of possibility that greets you, asking only one thing: will you listen? Will you begin with the power already in you? There is no room for excuses. Do not allow the old habits of delay and doubt to speak before you have grounded yourself in truth. Every morning, as dawn unfolds in quiet brilliance, it offers an invitation, one that asks you to meet the day fully aware of the power that lies within you. It is a call to awaken, not to the routines of the world, but to the boundless potential you possess, waiting to be realized, to be commanded, to be brought to life. This power within you is not a gift bestowed by chance or circumstance. It is inherent, woven into the very fabric of your being. It is the essence of your life, the quiet but unshakable presence that has always been there, ready to respond to your intentions and bring forth the reality you envision. The first moments of the morning are sacred. They are untouched, free from the voices and demands of the day, and they carry a sense of purity and possibility. In this stillness you are closer to your authentic self, unburdened by the noise of the world, connected to something deeper and more profound. To awaken to this power, you must first recognize that it is already yours. There is nothing to search for, no external source to seek out, no elusive state to chase after. It is here within you, as close as your heartbeat, as immediate as your breath. This power does not ask for your understanding, it asks for your trust. You do not need to know every step along the way, for you are not confined by the limits of your current understanding. The very essence of this power is rooted in faith in the unseen, faith in the potential that has yet to manifest, and faith in the strength that lies beyond the surface of your everyday awareness. When you awaken each morning, let this faith guide you, for it is through faith that you bridge the gap between the present and the future, between the visible and the invisible, between the self you are now and the self you are becoming. As you acknowledge this power, allow yourself to embrace it fully, without reservation. You may have grown accustomed to doubting, to hesitating, to questioning whether you are capable of creating the life you desire. But these doubts are merely the echoes of past experiences and old beliefs. They have no real hold on you unless you allow them to. With each new morning, you have the chance to release these doubts, to let go of the fears that keep you from stepping into the fullness of your potential. Remember, you are not defined by what has come before. You are defined by what you choose to believe, by the power you choose to claim. In this space of morning stillness, there is an opportunity to envision your day with clarity and intention. This is not mere daydreaming, but a deliberate act of creation. Imagine the possibilities that lie before you, not as distant hopes, but as tangible realities waiting to be embraced. See yourself not as one who wishes or wants, but as one who knows, as one who is certain of their ability to bring forth the life they desire. Feel this certainty as a presence within you, steady and unshakable, a quiet confidence that needs no validation from the outside world. As you breathe in this sense of power, let it fill you, let it resonate within every part of your being. Feel it in your thoughts, in your emotions, in the way you carry yourself. This power is not separate from you, it is an extension of who you are, an integral part of your very existence. When you approach the day with this awareness, you are no longer swayed by the opinions of others, nor are you bound by the limitations that society may impose. You are free to think, to act, to create, and to live according to your own vision. Throughout the day, hold on to this awareness. Remind yourself of the power that lies within you, especially when challenges arise or when doubt tries to creep in. In these moments, pause, breathe, and reconnect with that inner certainty. Remember that you are the creator of your experience, and that no external circumstance has the power to define you or to diminish your potential. The power within you is greater than any obstacle, stronger than any fear, and more enduring than any temporary setback. By awakening to this power every morning, you set the tone for your entire day. You step into each moment with purpose, with clarity, and with a deep sense of knowing that you are capable of achieving all that you set out to do. This is not arrogance, but a humble recognition of your true nature. It is a quiet inner assurance that needs no affirmation from the outside world, for it is rooted in the core of who you are. Each morning is a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to awaken to the boundless potential within you. Do not let these moments pass by unnoticed, unappreciated. Embrace them, cherish them, and let them be the foundation upon which you build your day, your life, your future. Awaken to your power, and know that there is nothing you cannot achieve, no dream too distant, no goal too lofty. All that you desire is within your reach, for the power to create it is already yours, here now waiting only for you to claim it. As you step into the world anew, you possess an extraordinary, often overlooked gift, the ability to command your reality. This gift does not rely on outside forces or external permissions. It is something born from within, a reflection of your own consciousness and the truths you choose to hold. In the depths of your being lies the creative power that can shape the reality around you. This is not a power bestowed by chance. It is a force inherent in you, waiting for your direction and your will. You need only recognize it, harness it, and speak to it with conviction. The reality you live in is a mirror, constantly reflecting back to you the images you hold, the beliefs you entertain, and the thoughts you nurture. Every experience, every encounter is a response to the inner state you carry. This is the profound secret that underpins the art of reality creation. The outer world conforms to the inner landscape. It shifts and changes according to the focus, emotion, and energy you choose to pour into it. Your life is a canvas, and you are the artist holding the brush, deciding the hues and contours of each day. But to truly command this reality, you must understand that your thoughts are not idle. Every thought has weight, every belief carries a frequency, and every emotion speaks to the substance of the world you are building. When you begin each morning, take a moment to establish your vision, to affirm with clarity what you wish to experience and create. Let this intention be your anchor throughout the day, a constant reminder of the power you hold to influence every moment. Speak to yourself with the authority of one who knows that their word is law within their own life. When you say, "Today will bring me peace," or "I am successful in all that I do," you are not merely reciting phrases, you are setting into motion the forces that will arrange themselves around your conviction. These words, backed by belief, become commands that reverberate into your reality, shaping events, encounters, and experiences to align with your inner declaration. Your reality requires you to be aware of the beliefs that underpin your perceptions. Many of these beliefs are remnants of the past, echoes of times when you were uncertain of your power or influenced by the opinions and limitations of others. They may surface as doubts, fears, or assumptions that whisper to you that certain things are out of reach, that certain goals are unattainable. Yet these beliefs are only as real as the attention you give them. As you begin to command your reality, decide which beliefs will serve you and which you will release. Free yourself from the limitations that no longer align with the vision you hold. As you move through your day, pay close attention to your thoughts. Are they affirming the reality you desire, or are they reinforcing the reality you wish to move beyond? Be vigilant, for each thought is a seed. Thoughts of limitation will grow into obstacles, while thoughts of possibility will expand into new avenues. If you catch yourself slipping into doubt or worry, pause and reaffirm your intent. Remind yourself that you are the creator, not the created, and that your mind is the master key to all you seek. Shift your focus back to the vision, to the outcome you have chosen, and let that be your guide. Your reality also means embracing responsibility. When you understand that the world responds to your inner state, you become accountable for the energy you bring to each situation. You can no longer blame external conditions, for you see that they are simply reflections of what you hold within. This realization is both liberating and empowering, for it places you squarely in the driver's seat. The moment you recognize that every experience is either a product of your beliefs or an invitation to transform them, you step into a life of true mastery. You can command with confidence, knowing that the world around you is a partner in creation, willing to respond to the certainty you offer. To command your reality effectively, practice feeling the emotions of your desired state. When you visualize the outcomes you seek, go beyond mere mental images, embody the feeling of already having it. Feel the satisfaction, the peace, the joy as though it were yours in this moment. This emotional alignment creates a powerful magnetism, drawing toward you experiences that match this internal state. The more vividly you feel, the more the outer world aligns with the inner frequency you have established. You are not passively waiting for things to change, you are actively drawing forth a reality that reflects your chosen vibration. So each day, reflect on what you have commanded and how it has unfolded. Notice how circumstances have aligned, how situations have responded to the intentions you set. Through this daily practice, you begin to see the consistency of the process and the natural law at work. You learn to trust in your power, to wield it with respect and understanding, knowing that it is an extension of your own consciousness. Command your reality by beginning each morning with clarity, carrying your intentions as beacons throughout the day, and ending with gratitude for the life you are creating. Embrace the knowing that there is no force more powerful than the alignment of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Stand firm in this truth, for you are the creator of your experience, the commander of your destiny, and the one who determines the shape of your reality. In this understanding, there are no limits, only the vast and boundless potential of the world you create within. To shape the life you desire, you must learn to harness the power of imagination with discipline and precision. Imagination is not merely a retreat from reality or an idle pastime, it is the creative force through which your desires are brought to life. Every great achievement, every profound change, has its roots in the unseen realm of imagination. Yet for this power to be effective, it must be directed with intent and practiced consistently, like a muscle that gains strength through repeated use. This is the art of imaginative discipline, the ability to craft in your mind the experiences you wish to encounter, holding steadfastly to this vision, regardless of the circumstances around you. Imaginative discipline begins by setting aside time each day to focus solely on your desired state of being. You may choose the quiet moments of early morning or the stillness of the evening, but whatever time you select, let it become a sanctuary where your mind is free to explore, to create, and to become absorbed in your chosen reality. During this time, bring your vision to life in vivid detail. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the sensations associated with your goal, as though they are unfolding in this very moment. Engage every sense, creating a mental scene so real that you lose awareness of your physical surroundings. This immersion is the foundation of imaginative discipline, for it places you firmly within the state of your desire fulfilled. The mind is a powerful tool, but it requires direction. Without discipline, it tends to drift, easily distracted by fleeting thoughts, doubts, and worries. Practicing imaginative discipline means taking control of your mental focus, becoming the conscious architect of your inner world. When stray thoughts arise, gently redirect them, returning your attention to your vision. This process may take time and patience, especially if you are unaccustomed to concentrated visualization. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Each time you bring your mind back to your desired image, you strengthen your ability to hold that vision firmly, and you deepen its impact on your subconscious. Consistency is essential in this practice. Just as you would not expect physical strength from a single day at the gym, so too must you commit to daily mental discipline. Over time, this consistent focus builds momentum. It embeds the vision into your subconscious, where it begins to influence your thoughts, emotions, and actions naturally. You may notice that you start to move through the world differently, carrying yourself with a new confidence and ease, as if your desired reality were already true. This shift is the result of your disciplined imagination, working quietly within to bring your inner vision to life. Discipline also requires that you protect your vision from doubt. Doubts are like weeds in the garden of the mind, undermining the growth of what you wish to cultivate. When doubts arise, and they will acknowledge them, but do not allow them to take root. Remind yourself that these doubts are not inherent truths, they are merely reflections of past beliefs, limitations, and fears. Consciously replace each doubt with an affirmation of your vision. If you find yourself questioning whether your desired reality is possible, return to your practice with renewed determination, immersing yourself once again in the experience of that reality fulfilled. Over time, the power of your vision will grow stronger than any doubt. The practice of imaginative discipline is not only about creating your future, it is about transforming your present. When you align your thoughts with the state of your desire fulfilled, you begin to experience a profound inner shift. Your emotions align with your vision, your body relaxes, and your mind becomes a peaceful place, undisturbed by the distractions of the outside world. In this state, you are no longer waiting for a future event to bring you joy or peace. You carry these qualities within you now, as if your desired reality were already here. This present moment embodiment is the true art of imaginative discipline, for it allows you to live from the end, infusing your current experience with the essence of your fulfilled desire. Practicing imaginative discipline also enhances your resilience. When the outer world presents challenges or setbacks, you are less likely to be swayed, for you are rooted in a vision that transcends temporary circumstances. You do not look to the outside world for validation or proof, because you have already experienced the reality you seek within yourself. This inner assurance is unshakable, providing a foundation of strength and confidence that allows you to navigate life with grace and poise. You know that your inner vision is the true reality, and you trust that the outer world will align with it in due time. Imaginative discipline is the key to manifesting your desires, but it is also a practice of self-mastery. It teaches you to control your mind, to choose your thoughts deliberately, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace and certainty. The practice itself becomes a source of joy as you learn to create experiences of fulfillment and happiness from within, independent of external conditions. You realize that you are the creator of your life, capable of shaping your reality through the focused power of your mind. Commit to this practice with unwavering dedication, and let each session of imaginative discipline be a reminder of your creative power. Every day, as you hold your vision with clarity and intent, you draw closer to the reality you seek. Your imagination is a force that knows no limits, a tool that can turn dreams into tangible experiences. Embrace it, wield it, and let it guide you as you shape the life that is truly yours. In this commitment, you discover that the boundaries of what you can achieve are as expansive as the power of your disciplined mind. Self-doubt is an invisible barrier, a subtle but persistent voice that whispers limitations, questions worthiness, and holds us back from embracing the life we truly desire. It arises not because you lack ability or potential, but because somewhere along the way, you accepted ideas about yourself that do not align with who you truly are. In letting go of self-doubt, you begin the journey of reconnecting with your true nature, a state of inner knowing and confidence that resides within you, untarnished and complete. The first step in releasing self-doubt is recognizing that it is not an intrinsic part of you. Self-doubt is learned. It is accumulated through experiences, words and beliefs from others, all of which may have been well-meaning, but have ultimately clouded your view of yourself. This accumulation often forms a barrier between who you are and the self you believe yourself to be. Understand that self-doubt is not your truth. It is simply a story you've been telling yourself. Once you realize this, you gain the power to rewrite the narrative and transform self-doubt into self-assurance. Begin each day by affirming your worth. In the quiet moments of morning, stand still and embrace the fact that you are complete as you are. You do not need to earn your worth. It exists inherently within you. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize yourself as confident, capable, and deserving. This is not an act of pretending. It is a return to your original state of being. Each morning, remind yourself that you are enough, that you have the power to face whatever comes your way. This daily ritual helps to establish a new pattern in your subconscious mind, gradually replacing the old narrative of doubt with one of inner strength. Letting go of self-doubt also means letting go of comparisons. We live in a world that encourages constant evaluation of our lives against others. But comparison is a trap, a game with no winners, for it is impossible to truly know the journey or struggles of another. When you measure yourself against others, you diminish the unique gifts and qualities that make you who you are. Release the need to compare, and instead focus on your own path, your own growth, and your own achievements. Celebrate your individuality, and remember that no one else can fulfill the role you were meant to play in this world. As you work to release self-doubt, examine the sources of your self-talk. Often the negative beliefs we carry are rooted in past experiences, words spoken by others, or memories of perceived failure. These old voices have taken up residence in our minds, replaying again and again, reinforcing self-doubt. To break free, you must question these voices. Are they truly accurate? Do they reflect your current reality, or merely an old version of yourself? Challenge these inner narratives and replace them with affirmations that reflect your true potential. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm not capable," replace it with, "I am learning, growing, and capable of achieving my goals." Over time, this shift in self-talk can reframe your view of yourself and your abilities. Trust the process of your growth. Self-doubt often arises when we focus solely on the end result rather than the journey. If you demand perfection or judge yourself harshly for not yet reaching a specific goal, you undermine your own progress. Embrace the journey, understanding that growth is gradual and non-linear. Each step, however small, is meaningful. As you move forward, celebrate each milestone, no matter how minor it may seem. This self-compassion reinforces a sense of accomplishment and encourages you to continue moving in the direction of your dreams. In releasing self-doubt, surround yourself with supportive voices. The people you allow into your life play a significant role in shaping your self-perception. Seek out those who lift you up, who see your potential, and who encourage you to believe in yourself. Limit time spent with those who undermine your confidence, intentionally or otherwise. Your inner circle should be a space of positivity and encouragement, one that reflects the self-assurance you are cultivating within. Another powerful way to let go of self-doubt is to focus on what you can give. Often self-doubt stems from overthinking or self-centered thoughts. Shift your focus outward. Ask yourself, how can I contribute? How can I make a difference? When you engage with the world from a place of giving, you naturally step into a state of confidence, because you are no longer focusing on your perceived limitations. You are instead focusing on the positive impact you can have. In doing so, you begin to see yourself as a person of value, capable of making meaningful contributions. This shift in focus can dissolve self-doubt, as it reminds you that your worth extends far beyond what you achieve. It resides in your very presence and the energy you bring to the world. Releasing self-doubt is not an overnight process, but a continuous practice of nurturing your inner confidence. Be patient with yourself, understanding that each moment of self-acceptance, each step toward inner peace, is part of the journey. Every time you choose to affirm your worth instead of giving in to doubt, you weaken the grip of self-doubt and strengthen your foundation of self-trust. Over time, this practice becomes a way of life, a new normal, where self-doubt no longer dictates your actions or limits your potential. As you step into each day with this growing confidence, you may notice that challenges no longer feel insurmountable, that setbacks no longer feel personal, and that you begin to see yourself in a new light. You are not defined by your past, your fears, or the doubts that once held you back. You are defined by the strength that rises each time you choose to believe in yourself. Embrace this truth and move forward with the certainty that you are enough, and that within you lies the power to create the life you envision. In a world full of uncertainty, challenges, and unexpected turns, we often find ourselves wavering between faith and fear. It's natural to feel fear. It's an ancient response, a survival mechanism embedded deep within. But to live centered in fear is to allow a shadow over our potential, our joy, and our purpose. Fear narrows our vision, constrains our choices, and keeps us tethered to what we've known, unable to reach for what might be. To truly thrive, we must learn to center ourselves in faith, not fear, for faith is the doorway to peace, strength, and limitless possibility. It's not simply belief, it's a deep, inner knowing that there is something greater within and beyond us, something steady and unwavering. When we center ourselves in faith, we align with a power that transcends the limits of our immediate circumstances. So, Faith speaks a language that fear does not understand, where fear says, "What if?" Faith says, "I am." Where fear predicts loss and limitation, faith trusts in abundance and resilience. To center in faith is to trust that you are supported, that each experience is unfolding in its own time, and that you are capable of facing whatever lies ahead. The process of moving from fear to faith begins with a commitment to observe your thoughts. We often let fear's narrative take root in our minds without challenging it, but you have the power to choose your focus, to shift from thoughts that feed your fear to thoughts that nurture your faith. When you catch yourself worrying or doubting, pause and question the validity of these fears. Remind yourself that the mind often imagines worst-case scenarios that are far from the truth. Instead of dwelling on what could go wrong, center yourself on what could go right. Imagine the best possible outcome and allow yourself to believe it is possible. The more you practice this shift, the easier it becomes to default to faith, to trust that you are equipped for every season of life. Faith is not a denial of challenges, it is a perspective that allows you to see beyond them. Life may present struggles, losses, and setbacks, but faith holds that every experience has a purpose, every challenge a lesson. When fear urges you to back away, faith invites you to lean in, to trust in your ability to overcome. By embracing this perspective, you begin to understand that growth often arises from the very situations that seem most daunting. Fear would have you turn away, but faith gives you the courage to stand firm, to recognize that within each trial is an opportunity to become wiser, stronger, and more resilient. To cultivate a life centered in faith, begin each day with practices that nurture this inner strength. Meditation, prayer, and visualization can create a sense of calm and connection that fear cannot disrupt. As you engage in these practices, affirm your trust in life's unfolding, in the guidance within you, and in the support that surrounds you. Let faith be your grounding force, a place of stillness amid the noise. In doing so, you equip yourself to face the day with a spirit that is calm, aware, and unwavering, regardless of external circumstances. Centering in faith also means releasing the need to control every aspect of life. Fear is often rooted in the desire to dictate outcomes, to predict the future. But life is not a puzzle to be solved or a problem to be controlled, it is a journey to be experienced. Faith asks you to release this tight grip, to allow life to unfold organically. This surrender is not passivity, it is a powerful act of trust. When you release the need to control, you open yourself to receiving guidance, to noticing signs, and to flowing with the natural rhythm of life. You begin to understand that life itself is on your side, that each step is a piece of a larger picture, unfolding in perfect timing. To center yourself in faith, you are embracing a path of empowerment. Fear thrives on doubt and hesitation, but faith calls for decisive action, rooted in your core beliefs. When you choose faith, you act not from a place of reaction, but from a place of intention. This shift in mindset allows you to make choices that are aligned with your values, goals, and vision for your life. You stop merely surviving and start living purposefully, making choices that reflect your trust in your own capacity and in the flow of life. Each step forward becomes an affirmation of your faith, a declaration that you believe in yourself and in the unfolding journey. About returning to yourself, trusting in your own inner wisdom and the strength that lies within. It's about knowing that whatever arises, you are capable of handling it with grace and resilience. You are more than the fears that try to define you. You are a being of strength, compassion, and purpose. In this understanding, faith becomes a wellspring, a steady source of comfort and confidence. No matter what the world around you says or does, you remain grounded in a trust that goes beyond circumstances and appearances. When you commit to centering yourself in faith, you allow life to meet you where you are, to support you in ways both seen and unseen. You become a participant in your own growth, moving with the flow of life rather than resisting it. In this state, you find peace in the present moment and strength for the future. Fear may still arise from time to time, but it no longer commands your actions or dictates your path. Instead, you become guided by a quiet, unshakable certainty, a faith that propels you forward with courage and grace. In choosing faith over fear, you claim your power, honor your potential, and align with the wisdom of life itself. You are free to live fully, to love deeply, and to create boldly. With each step grounded in faith, you draw closer to a life that is rich with meaning, purpose, and joy, a life that reflects the boundless spirit within you. The key to manifesting the life you desire lies in embodying the feeling of already having it. This principle, often called acting as if, is more than simply pretending. It's about stepping into the identity of the person who already has what you seek. By doing so, you shift your mindset, your emotions, and even your energy to align with the reality you want to create. Acting as if is not a passive wish or mere visualization. It is a conscious choice to embody your desires as if they are a current reality, grounding your future in the present moment. When you act as if your desires are already yours, you begin to think, feel, and act from a place of abundance rather than lack. This approach is rooted in the understanding that your internal state shapes your external reality. Every thought, feeling, and belief carries an energy, and when you carry the energy of fulfillment, you attract experiences that align with that frequency. To act as if is to claim your vision with confidence, dissolving doubts and fears, and moving through life as if the outcome is assured. You become a magnet for the opportunities, people, and circumstances that resonate with your desired reality. The first step in acting as if is to get crystal clear about what you want. Imagine yourself in vivid detail experiencing your desire fully realized. Picture yourself in the situation you aspire to be in, whether it's a new job, a fulfilling relationship, or financial freedom. Visualize not only the scene, but the feelings that come with it: joy, peace, gratitude, or excitement. Let these emotions settle into your heart and mind, letting them become as real as possible. Your goal is to feel as if you are already living that life now, without waiting for any external change to justify these feelings. Once you are clear on what you want and have felt it deeply, begin to bring the qualities of that vision into your daily life. For instance, if you desire financial success, start by embracing the mindset and habits of someone who is financially abundant. Speak and act with confidence, make decisions from a place of security, and be mindful of how you handle the resources you have. By adopting the behaviors of someone who has already achieved financial success, you affirm your worthiness of abundance, and you start to make choices that align with that vision. Acting as if requires that you bring the qualities of your desired reality into your present actions, transforming your outer life step by step to match your inner vision. Another powerful element of acting as if is expressing gratitude, as if your desire has already been fulfilled. Gratitude is a state of receiving, a way of signaling to the universe that you are open and ready for what you want. Each day, take a moment to feel deeply grateful for the things you have and for the realization of your desires, as if they are already present in your life. This practice is not about tricking yourself. It is about tuning into a mindset of abundance, of believing in the possibility and inevitability of your desires. Gratitude expands your heart and mind, allowing you to see opportunities and resources that align with your goals. To act as if, you must also be willing to let go of doubts and limiting beliefs that undermine your vision. When doubts arise, don't push them away or ignore them. Acknowledge them and remind yourself that they are simply old patterns. Replace each doubt with a thought or affirmation that reflects the reality you are creating. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough for this," replace it with, "I am worthy, and my desires are coming to me effortlessly." Over time, these affirmations reshape your subconscious mind, aligning your internal beliefs with your desired external reality. Patience is essential when you practice acting as if. Sometimes it may feel as if nothing is happening, as if the outer world is not reflecting your inner vision. Trust the process. Every action, thought, and feeling you cultivate is planting a seed. Just as seeds take time to grow and bear fruit, your vision requires time to unfold. Keep acting as if without looking for immediate evidence. Your commitment to embodying your desires with patience and faith is a testament to your belief in their inevitability. Stay grounded in the present, knowing that each day brings you closer to the fulfillment of your dreams. Surround yourself with people, environments, and activities that support your vision. If you desire to be in a successful career, spend time with individuals who inspire you and reflect qualities you admire. Immerse yourself in books, courses, or experiences that align with your aspirations. Acting as if is easier when your surroundings reinforce the mindset you are cultivating. Every interaction, every choice, every moment becomes an opportunity to affirm your vision and to live from the perspective of your future self. The most beautiful part of acting as if is that it changes you from within. You begin to see yourself in a new light, recognizing the powerful creator you truly are. By embodying your desires, you realize that you do not need permission to live the life you want. You have the power to create it by aligning your thoughts, actions, and emotions with your vision. As you step into this empowered state, you find that you are no longer waiting for your dreams to happen. You are living them each day, through every choice and every intention. When you act as if, you step into a reality of your own making, a life in which your desires are not distant possibilities but present truths. You become a living embodiment of your vision, a testament to the power of belief, intention, and unwavering faith. Your life becomes a canvas upon which you paint the reality of your choice, not by waiting for external validation, but by knowing deeply that what you seek is already within you, simply waiting to be claimed. In conclusion, when you choose to act as if your desires are already yours, you're stepping into the role of a powerful creator, shaping your reality through intention, belief, and action. By aligning your inner state with the life you envision, you allow your dreams to unfold naturally and effortlessly. Embracing this mindset fills each day with purpose, gratitude, and confidence, allowing you to live fully now rather than waiting for some future moment. As you embody this way of being, you transform not only your external circumstances, but also the essence of who you are. Thank you for embarking on this journey of inner transformation and trusting in the limitless possibilities that await.